Fatherhood, and I'm going to talk a little bit about quenching the father thirst. What that simply means is not stabilizing the father so we can enrich the lives of our children, which that will happen. But quenching the father thirst means a father going through a road of recovery and transition in his life, transition in his mind, and the things he do to become stable, to enrich the life of his family, especially his children, to quench his child's thirst for him in his life. Y'all get that? Yeah. Y'all kind of quiet. Y'all done ate some pizza and stuff, right? Y'all with me? All right, because I ain't going to be up here that long. I want to hit on a few things, but y'all got to participate with me, okay? That's cool? Yeah. All right, because I ain't shy, because I'll call you out. I'll call somebody up here, okay? Now y'all really quiet. But anyway, so this is one of the biggest things that I want everybody to understand. Everybody could go around and speak about fathers and do this and do that, which is great. I'm a father. I've been a father for a long time. I have 5 kids of my own. I became a father when I was 17 years old. And doing speaking engagements and mentoring and all those things as a teenager, I was very resistant to that. You know, just to be honest, I've been doing this for over 30 years, but at first I was very, very resistant. But I had some very positive influences in my life, some male and female, as a matter of fact. And those influences in my life, they never gave up on me. You know, they never gave up on me. They kept me going out, doing this and doing that until one day I said, I don't want to go out. Do I need this thing? No. I went out one day and said, look, I don't want to go out and speak to any men, any young guys, any parents anymore. And one of my mentors said, okay, Derek, and it was the first time that he really challenged me. Well, he didn't challenge me, and I was surprised because he challenged me all the time. And I said, look, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to go out. I don't want to talk to nobody. And I lived in Potomac Gardens, not that far from here. And he stood at the door before he left my house in Potomac Gardens and said, well, Derek, I just want to tell you one thing before I leave. You don't have to go. You don't have to go out anymore. You don't have to speak to anybody else. But one day, and I was 17, he said, one day, the same things I'm teaching you, the same things I'm talking to you about, you might have to talk to somebody else about it one day. And what do you think I said? What do you think I said? Anybody? Okay. No, I didn't say that. I said, no, I'm not. Nobody don't care about this but you. That's what I said. I said, you're the only one, you know, he used to take me to the court building. I ain't had no court case. Right, he used to take me to see all these rooms, all this stuff. I ain't had no business in none of those rooms. I had no need. However, a few years later, and I continue to do it, as a matter of fact, like a week later. But I learned that as I started engaging fathers and families on a regular basis, I did need that information. I knew what those rooms were in the court building. I knew how to take them to the D.C. court up in Marlboro, Virginia. All those rooms are similar. All those resources are the same. So I'm glad that these folks didn't give up on me, right? Like I was giving up on myself. And when on Father's Day, when you look at the father, we might be on the grill, right? Because y'all have us on the grill, still on Father's Day, right? Because we feel like we the only one know how to do it, but they can do it, right? But as you look at us on Father's Day, just know that fathers are recovering. We are in the recovery stage, but we are recovering in fatherhood. And when I say recovery, that just don't mean substances and drinking and, you know, stuff like that. We are recovering in fatherhood. And there's something that I always say. I speak about QTL, and that's quality time left. No matter where you are, where you've been, where your kids are, or whatever the circumstances is, if you're a single mom, single dad, if you co-parent, whatever the situation is, there's one thing that can never ever change. For one, you have quality time left with your kids. Are you listening to me? Yeah. Right? You have quality time left with your kids. Now, unfortunately, every relationship not healthy. right? We deal with that. But we need to understand, and I can't tell you what to do, and I'm just making a statement, and my advice is try to connect with your kid's mom, the grandma, the granddad, anybody so you can see your kid. If you have to co-parent, okay, fine. I don't have to dislike you. You know, wherever my kids are, and my kids are older than most of y'all in here except for that front row section. But no matter where my kids are or have been, they hadn't always lived with me. You know, their mom had been the custodial parent. But one thing I would never ever forget, and you don't forget this, one thing that can never ever change is that's your kid. Nobody can change that. Wake that guy up. One thing that can never ever change is that that's your kid. Right? Nobody can change that. I have a son that moved from Los Angeles, California to Ohio. Crazy as that sound. To where it's freezing cold, to where it's 60, 70 degrees every day. But when he was in LA and all we out there, was he still my son? Yeah. He still was my son. And he's in Ohio. Is he still my son? He closer to me now. But he moved from LA to Ohio because he had a daughter. You know what he told me? He said, Dad, I don't want to have to FaceTime my son, my daughter. I have a granddaughter. I have 4 grandkids. And he just had a little girl. And give him my hand. Y'all can give my hand for that. He said, Dad, I don't want to FaceTime her. He moved and packed up, but that's a different story. That's a different training. But I just want to, I don't know how much time I got, and just, I'm good?
Go ahead.
Devin said I'm good, so y'all got to hold on a few minutes. That's good? So let me say this. One of the things that I learned, being a father, is that, can we be our kids' only influence in life?
No.
Can we? Who said no?
said no.
Good. You said no too? Mm-hmm. Okay. We probably would never be our kids' only influence in life. But when I had my oldest daughter, I was 17. I wanted to be her only influence. You know, we are the protectors and the providers of our home, right? But we are much more than that, you know, and I'm gonna speak on that in 30 seconds. But to be the influence, I took the table out of my mother's house. It wasn't my house. I took the what's the little square table? Usually got glass on it. What is it? Coffee table. I took the coffee table out of my mother's house, and she thought I was crazy. Because I didn't want my daughter to fall on it, because it had edges and stuff. And in a little while, we almost had no living room furniture, because I didn't want her to get hurt. But the thing was, I was just cautious. You know, I wanted to be careful. I wanted to be her only. I want her to learn everything from me. But was that good? No. Because do you think I'm a perfect dad? I had 5 kids. You think, look at me. Do I look like a perfect dad? Let her answer. Do I look like a perfect dad? Don't I look cool? I look cool, right? I'm not a perfect dad. I'm not a perfect dad in no way. But I'm still the guys that I teach and talk to and meet with. It's 24 hours for me. Because men, my clock don't cut off. My work hours usually from 9 in the morning to 5:30. And it's well after that, right? But I constantly keep in touch with these guys because men, just so you know, we need each other sometimes before or after the work hours. It could be 10 at night and say, hey, Dirk, can you pick me up? This lady done put me out. My bag's tied up, right? Or I got a flat tire, right? Now, sometimes I can help, sometimes I can't. Depends on what it is, right? Or, you know, a guy called me one night, he didn't make class. And he said, and then I'm gonna get into the social element of this. He said, Mr. Philson, like they young guy, they call me Mr. Philson, right? Crazy. But he called and said, Mr. Philson, I'm sorry. And I want y'all to remember this. He said, I'm sorry that I missed the class tonight. And I said, are you okay? And he said, well, no, I had a problem. And you're the only person, this is like 10:30 at night, right? I had just got home, took off my coat, and he said, I have a problem today, and I couldn't come to class. And I was like, wow. So I got my pen out. I was at my dining room table. I got my pen out. I had just took out my car, got my pen out, and I got a little pad, and I was going to write. And I said, what's going on? And he said, and he don't mind me telling y'all this, because I don't know y'all. And y'all don't know him. I won't say his name. But he said, I picked my daughter up from school today. And her teacher, I usually pick her up every day, and I usually help her with her homework every day. But when I looked in her backpack, her teacher gave her some homework assignment, right? And he said, it's math, and it's some type of math I don't know how to do. And I said, wow, what is it? And he said, fractions. And I said, how many questions is it? And he said, 10. And I wiped my head and I said, okay, let me get the calculator. I said, man, I ain't done no fractions in a long time, right? So it was 10:30, so like 1 o'clock in the morning, I finally went to bed because we figured it out. And we, we did fractions and stuff, right? And the next day, he called and said, man, the teacher said it was good. Everything was good. So some of those calls, don't jump the gun and think, oh man, it's late. It's a challenge. It's a real issue. Somebody hurt and stuff like that. And even our young guys in our community, I see one young guy here, but these young guys need us to engage them, right? Our families, our fathers, and the young guys are going through a stage of challenges and going through a stage of just recovering and drama and trauma, and they feel like they just holding on, right? They need us. So now, I ain't saying make yourself unsafe and go engage them in some unsafe environment, but they need us to come in and talk to them. And as I told them at Woodland last week, we want to come in and help you, but we want to leave out safe too, right? So we want to be safe. So last thing before I end, I want to tell y'all this. We are the protectors and the providers of our home, right? And I've been told that since I was a little, before I was too young to even do anything. I was told that you the man in the house. I'm like, okay, what that mean? But my point is, we are much more than the protectors and the providers of our home. Fathers have the responsibility also to provide more training to our kids, okay? We are responsible, and y'all kind of quiet, that's okay. We also have the responsibility, can you hear me? We also have the responsibility to provide emotional support to our family and our kids, son or daughter. It should be no more telling our son when he fall down and hurt, don't cry. You're a man, men don't cry. We cry. We might just don't tell nobody. We might not do it all the time. But when my son fell down, I say, you crying? He said, yeah, I'm crying. I said, okay, Daddy cried before too. I said, you crying, man, because you're a little hurt. But we're going to patch you up. We're going to see what's going on, but you don't have to cry all day, right? I learned to stop that, you're not a man and all that. And then one of the most important things, if you don't remember anything that I said tonight, I want to say this. I want you to remember this. Fathers have the responsibility to be socially involved in our children's life. You could be the breadwinner. That's the most important thing. Thank you. You can work 2 or 3 jobs. Don't let nobody, when you come through that door, tell your son or daughter, don't run to daddy because he's tired. Don't run to him because his parents dirty. Let him drink a beer or watch the game or something first, right? Don't let nobody separate you from your kids. If I walk through that door, let my son or daughter run to me, because eventually they're going to stop running to you, right? We have the greatest responsibility to be socially involved with our kids. And I really mean that, and I'm still on that side. I look for so many creative ways to engage my kids. My kids are older, but I still look for Facebook, Instagram, text messages, easy ways to connect with them when I don't see them. And it worked. Well, I don't do it good enough, but it worked, right? So the social involvement is the key, right? Is a very big component, and it's a very important thing to me. So I just want to share that with you, and thanks for engaging me. And if you ever had these thoughts or these doubts about what to do, it's nothing perfect, right? Fatherhood isn't perfect, okay? So yes, we deserve a big piece of chicken Sunday. Yes, we deserve to have some fun. Yes, we like your necktie and the belt and the stuff. Yes, we love it. We appreciate it and we love you. And thanks for engaging me.